interesting to do a review on for you. I came across this last week. It's from Yahoo News, but it looks like NBC News was the first to actually to post this. What you've got to understand from my perspective is NBC News, all these major news outlets are all going to have their spin on things because of their corporate sponsorships. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to sit down and watch NBC News or scroll through Yahoo to see the ads that they put in front of your face. They're going to be ads from drug companies, and so the articles that you're going to see posted on here 99% of the time are going to be very, very pro-medication, and I think that's what you're going to see here in this particular article. I'll provide the link to the article in the description, but we're going to read through it just together, and I'm going to put my 2 cents in here as we talk. So, title of the article, what caught my eye was New Heart Syndrome Identifies Link Among Obesity, Diabetes, and Kidney Disease. So my first thought was when I saw this, New Heart Syndrome with a link to obesity, diabetes, and kidney disease, immediately the hackle on my neck started to go up. So article goes on and says, as more Americans are being diagnosed with multiple chronic health problems at younger ages, for the first time, the American Heart Association is identifying a new medical condition that reflects the strong links among obesity and diabetes and heart disease and kidney disease. So first thing out of my mouth or out of my brain is multiple chronic health problems at younger ages, yet we're still digging to find medications and not going back and looking at the standard American diet, the amount of inflammatory oils that we consume, the amount of sugar we consume. That's what's actually creating the problem here, but we want to just keep throwing drugs at it so we can eat whatever we want, and drug companies are going to make money from the drugs. So that's the whole spin that I'm going to take from this. American Heart Association, they mean well, they look like they mean well, but if you start digging a little bit, what you'll find is this is their annual report saying special thanks to Novo Nordisk and Novartis, which are drug companies. These companies are funded by these drug companies. So don't be surprised when we start seeing new drugs for this syndrome coming from those companies, and the American Heart Association identified them and is going to start pushing them, and you'll see this more as we go into this. So and according to an advisory released Monday, which would have been about 3 weeks ago, the goal in recognizing the condition, Cardiovascular-Kidney-Metabolic Syndrome, or CKM, so they've already given it an acronym, made it perfect for a commercial, is to get earlier diagnosis and treatment for people at high risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. Worthy goal, I get it. What if these people were actually on an appropriate diet and didn't need to do this in the first place? That's what I'm saying. Reducing the pipeline of individuals progressing to heart disease is our primary goal. Reducing the pipeline. They're going to contradict themselves later in this. Said the lead author of the advisory in an accompanying statement, Dr. Chiadi, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce this, Dr. Chiadi, the director of obesity and cardiometabolic research at Johns Hopkins. And they put a nice little picture in here of someone getting, looks like dialysis. Right now, we're seeing the health consequences of all these conditions interacting and leading to earlier presentations with heart disease. To that, I kind of say dumb. Naming and describing CKM are really a paradigm change, so we can create a new disease to make a drug for it. Increasing evidence shows how metabolic risk factors such as abdominal fat, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high blood sugar can negatively affect our organs in the body. Again, that is a duh statement. We've known that forever. Dr. Pam Taub, a cardiologist, agreed that the new approach may be a game changer. No, the new approach to be a game changer would actually be dietary changes and lifestyle changes, not selling a new drug. The development of new medications to treat conditions that are part of the syndrome, such as kidney disease, diabetes, and obesity, has resulted in decreases in cardiovascular events. Cool. And given doctors new insight into the relationship among the different organs. Everything, we've been saying this in the natural health world forever. Every organ is connected to each other, yet we're still failing to see this. So here's where it really gets interesting, though. It's been eye-opening. I call what I call organ crosstalk. I've been saying this forever. For example, kidney disease can be detected in patients with a urine sample. Duh. In general, Taub said when you look at organs together, you can detect disease early and you're going to prevent bad cardiovascular outcomes. Cool. But here's where it, this blows my mind. Okay. Along with the identifying the new syndrome, Dr. Again, not going to pronounce that, and his team devised systems of stages for doctors to identify patients at risk. Stage 0, no risk factors. Stage 1, getting a little chubby. Stage 2, getting a little chubby plus blood pressure plus triglycerides. Stage 3, high blood pressure, early cardiovascular disease. And stage 4. This is what fires me up. More than 90% of adults fall on the CKM spectrum. 90% of adults fall on the CKM spectrum. That's a big group of people to market to, people. Hey, encourages doctor to look at the advisor. Encourages doctor to look at a bigger target. Anyway, it goes on and says, their goal here is to produce medications earlier, and now they're actually creating their target market, which will include 90% of adults. It doesn't need to be like this. Okay, if we put the same amount of energy, time, and finances into looking at disease prevention with lifestyle change, which we know it's there, then this becomes an absolute moot point. But the problem is that lifestyle and dietary changes are hard. Therefore, people don't want to do them. And they don't sell drugs. Therefore, that research is not going to... the research gets done, but it does not get pushed to mainstream like Yahoo because, well, frankly, it doesn't sell medication. So my whole takeaway on this is we can do better, and we should do better. We owe it to ourselves to do better. We owe it to our grandchildren, our children, and our grandchildren to do better. We absolutely owe it to them to teach them better so they don't fall prey to things like this. So while these doctors mean well, I think it is what it is here. I think this is a new marketing ploy to sell more medication. So that's my take on this. I'll quit rambling. I appreciate all your support. We'll see you on the next video.